So hello and welcome to the UCI World Cup, the Eliminator from Winterberg, high in the slopes, this winter ski resort in the North Rhine-Westphalia area, playing host to skiing and snowboarding into winter, and we're here for more Eliminator mountain biking here in this fantastic setting, round number 4 of the MTB Eliminator World Cup, and we are going to have some great racing for you. Now, XCE Eliminator is really simple. Format is a knockout format. Our riders seed themselves, they are qualified in time order for doing one lap. They then race against each other, with half of the riders going through to the next round, half being eliminated on the way through. So let's have a look at the track that they have got to fight it out over very shortly. You can see some of the pictures, the riders warming up at the moment, and they are looking to just make sure that they're in tip-top condition to hit a very, very tough course here in the circuit in Winterberg. One of the great things is that this becomes a race for everybody, whether you are young, old, or whether you're a new rider, an international rider. You can head out onto the track and make sure you can enjoy what is one of the fastest race formats. Our new world champion, GER, the rider who's beaten all before, alongside the Iranian rider who is joining us this time around. And as you can see, the riders starting to ready themselves. So plenty of people out and around the city, and I think we've managed to secure a world champion to go out on the track with GER, showing us exactly what is in store for our riders.
Hello everyone, I'm GER, European champion, world champion and GC leader. And here we are in Winterberg. This is the track course. First part on the grass. It is downhill on the grass. Then here you see the first obstacle. These are the whoops. Long downhill. Here it could be slippery. We will see how the weather will be. First short climb. This is the second obstacle, and during the race we will drop him. We are flying into it. And then this is the last climb. Very hard one on the grass. I think the race will be decided here. Whew. Steep one. Hi! Crowd is cheering. Rocky Garden from Safety Jogger. And then our last corner. And then sprinting to the finish line. Yoo-hoo! Great!
Well, let's see if GER is able to talk at the end of the racing today. Our first races in the knockout format with 2 riders through is the quarterfinals. Heat number 1, Anton Birat along with Anton Olstam. And we also, of course, have Morales here. Ricky Morales, the fastest rider in qualifying. On the right-hand side, he's got the number 1 plate on, and he put in the fastest qualifying time by some margin as they come off this straight. They're shoulder to shoulder already, and it looks to me like Olstam muscling his way around Birat, coming up on the inner side as well. So Anton Olstam and Birat quickly muscling the Morales out of the way. You can see how hard this course is. So now it looks to me like we're going to see Olstam leading them up over this in the first of the doubles over the get-go. No problems with that whatsoever, all carrying plenty plenty of speed. Now onto the climb. This is a brutal kick up this grass slope heading up in towards the arena. You can see the riders quickly out of the saddle. They've got to fight the way up, and already Morales is back challenging. So Ricky Morales here from Puerto Rico is leading round into this final turn, and this is our first real look at how this rise. He's carrying so much speed round there. He's opened a gap on Birat and along with Olstam in that order as they go through the straight. Morales could have a cleaner run down here than he did in the start. This is where they were tangling before, but now Morales is going to lead over the whoops and takes that left turn. These corners are tricky. This is the first of the eliminators on grass out in the parkland, and at the moment Morales are doing a fantastic job here. Can Birat challenge him? Anton Olstam after that initial quick start, not challenging now. Olstam taking the bronze medal in the World Championships last week, but not able to challenge at the moment, and it is going to be Birat, who is 9th in the overall standings and 20th in the world, who is actually taking the battle. But here comes Olstam now as they come up this climb. They're challenging Morales. Morales takes a look across. 2 riders go through. One is eliminated. Their day is over the rock garden they go. But the moment Morales is going to come through, he's going to take a heat victory here for Puerto Rico. If he can hold this cool all the way to the line, he does. So great riding there. So Morales comes through along with Anton Birat. They are the qualifiers going through and not making it into the final. Anton Olstam. So Olstam out of contention. Fantastic start. They're straight off on the flat, diving down. It means the riders are shoulder to shoulder initially, really are having to battle for position. So you can see Morales there really did have control of that heat. So great riding by Morales to qualify. Ricky Morales of Puerto Rico goes through with Anton Birat of Sweden, 0.89 of a second behind, and Anton Olstam, after taking the bronze medal, the 3rd place rider in the series overall, out of contention. Well, we've not seen Ricky in action so far this year. Let's hear what he's got to say.
The fastest in the qualifying, and now you qualify for the semifinals. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bichere. Yeah, the track is so hard. It's good. It's my first World Cup, and I try to make the best.
Okay, congratulations. We see you back in the semifinals. Back to the studio.
So great to hear that Ricky's going to try and make the best of this one. It doesn't get much better than being fastest in qualifying and to be the fastest in his heat and go through in from the quarterfinals into the semi-finals, currently in prime position as a heat winner. So one of our quarterfinals done, 3 quarterfinals to go, and as you can see, this fantastic venue is really tough because it is a lot of climbing. We haven't had this much climbing in one of the eliminators yet. So the whoops all ready for these riders are going to be descending in. We've got the world champion, the series leader, second from your left in Simon Gegenheimer, the former world champion. Perrin Gagne, these are the 2 hot favourites here, along with Gutman and Rika. It should be a good battle, but the real fight is going to be between the world champion, the series leader in second position as they dive down this bank, along with our leader, Perrin Gagne. Now, he is the defending champion into Graz of last week, but he couldn't hold the title. And for him, it was a poor showing at the World Championships, only taking 14th with the man in the white with that UCI Series Leaders jersey. In second position into the doubles to go. Gegenheimer just taking that right-hand side, and you can see the leading 2 clearing the doubles. The riders behind not having that same pace, just taking it a little bit more carefully as they go over the top now. Gegenheimer on the heels of Perrin Gagne. It is the world champion and series leader who comes up on the shoulders of the Frenchman here. So over the rock garden into this right-hand turn, the rider still in contention is Rico. Looks like Gutman taken out of the running. He's in 4th place, he's got a lot of work to do, but you can see that Rika is not giving up on this. Niels Albe Rika in 3rd place. Gegenheimer, the world champion, the series leader, in 2nd position, but he is the rider most in danger at the moment. Titouan Perrin-Gagné is leading this out, and it looks like he has that place to go into this wide sweeping right-hand turn. This is where the riders really learn how to bend the tapes. You can see them pushing them out wide. It's a high-risk tactic. If they push the tape and it gets tangled, it's game over. Now Gegenheimer tries to take a look, take the wide line round there. Can he carry more speed? Tight inside lines, generally shorter but slower. Wider lines, faster. You just see the elbows are out there from Perrin-Gagné. Now the 2 riders have to hold off the challenge from Rika and from Gutman. Gutman is a spent force here, but Rika is now looking to make a move. You see Gegenheimer looking behind. Is he going to be challenged on the run into the finish here? Well, here comes Rika. Rika's pushing on the left-hand side of him. He's going to try and push him all the way to the line, but in the end, it's going to be a clear win for Perrin-Gagné of France, the former world champion in front of the current world champion, the man who is our series leader, and also our world champion in the shape of Simon Gegenheimer. If you watch on the gun here, Perrin-Gagné clearly looking to have a better weekend this than last weekend, where he was so far down the stones. We expected him to be challenging. It wasn't to be the case, but he held control of that race. Maybe Gegenheimer just holding something in reserve for the later semi-finals. So qualifying, Titouan Perrin-Gagné along with Simon Gegenheimer, Niels Albe Rika and Simon Gutman eliminated from the competition. Wow, very interesting to see who is going to be taking this on in the finals. You see our next heat 3 is already lined up and ready to go. Now this contains the silver medalist Jeroen van Eck, as well as Jay Bitterbeer, Eddie Stiebel, along with Zinnia van Looy. Now all 4 riders away very, very quickly indeed from the start here. Now you can just see real quick kick here. Stiebel going to lead them down onto that corner, but Bitterbeer up the inside. Look at that stall, that clash there. Oh, you can just see massive tumble there, and just coming off the bike, landing on the floor. Zinnia van Looy just clips that front wheel. You saw that compression coming in, and I'm sure we'll get another look at that. Now Jay Bitterbeer, a man who was going to have to regroup after the World Championships, leading the European champion. Jeroen van Eck, the 2 riders at the moment in front of Stiebel, who had that quick start. Stiebel let them down off that first descent, and he's still in touch. So all 3 of these riders know they are in the hunt here. 1 rider down and out of contention. 1 rider still to eliminate. 1 lap to go when they hit the line this time. 1 more corner until they're into lap number 2. And Stiebel comes round on the inside there, diving up the inside. He carries the pace as well. So at the moment, Stiebel, they've just relegated Bitterbeer from 1st into 3rd place there. And that is really going to cost Bitterbeer a lot of energy to get back now. You can just see Van Eck, Jeroen van Eck taking that wider line, rolls around, carries more pace. Bitterbeer trying to carry speed through into the corner. It's no good going in and hot and then coming out slow. You've got to come in slow and come out hot. And it looks to me like Stiebel may well have got this dialed here. Can he hold the pace at the front? So it's Stiebel from France holding off the challenge of Jeroen van Eck from the Netherlands, the European champion in that white jersey with the European stars on his back onto the climb. Van Eck tries to challenge on the right, he tries to challenge on the left. He's pushing Stiebel all the way. Bitterbeer is right on his back tyre. These riders will literally be rubbing tyre to tyre. As up onto the climb, you can just see Van Eck is so strong up here. Stiebel goes from 1st into 3rd place here. And Jeroen van Eck looks back. Getting your timing right is absolutely critical. Bitterbeer now has to be attentive to the rider behind, but I think Stiebel has blown here. He's trying to sprint, it was not to be. So going through, it should be Jeroen van Eck and Jay Bitterbeer with Eddie Stiebel out of contention. Eddie had a great start there. Every time it came into that downhill section, that start, finish straight, and that drop off the edge of the world down into these corners, it was really tough, but you can just see getting all caught up. Zinnia van Looy not able to hold the line in there. muscled out of contention. Now, these races are controlled by the UCI race referees. They're going to be keeping an eye on what's going on, but it does show that that's a fair racing clash. So Jeroen van Eck and Jay Bitterbeer both go through with Stiebel and Van Looy eliminated from the competition, and it's that fast starter, but not to be Eddie Stiebel, who is down there. Let's hear how Eddie's feeling about that.
Eddie, what happened in the second lap? Because in the first lap, after the first lap, it looked very okay for you.
Yes, it was the first time of the year that I felt so good in the legs. But obviously this track is a climber's track, and I'm not so a good climber. But
you blew up your legs in the second lap.
I don't think I blew up, because also after the second climb I was able to follow Jay, almost follow him, so I had the legs. I just think he and Jeroen were too strong today.
Anyway, Eddie, a great race for you. Thank you for having us with you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Back to the studio.
Well, you can just see Eddie Stiebel there saying it's a climber's track, but remember, to win the series overall, like Gegenheimer is leading to win the World Championships, you've got to be a good all-rounder. Now, another fantastic heat. This promises to be very exciting indeed, because we have got here Ferreira on the left-hand side, the Ecuadorian rider, very quick off the blocks normally, and not afraid to challenge the riders in front. But you can see the man who's known for his fast starts, Felix Klausmann, out into the lead and into this. Are they all going to get around first corner? All right, they do. So it's Klausmann leading the race out in that German strip. Ceres of France, let's get a Heiko Hogg of Germany, and Fierro at the moment with work to do at the moment at the back of this group, but they are all very close together, and by no means is this going to be over until we see some substantial gaps opening. Who's going to be able to climb this hill well? Who's going to be able to sprint at the end of it? Klausmann now being challenged on the way through, but he holds that line well, and defending that line costs energy. You can't take necessarily the best line. You want to put the opposition off from coming past. Elbows out though. He's holding it off Lorenzo Ceres. He's the number 3 rider coming round in the dark blue sleeves there. So Ceres in second place at the moment, trying to close that gap back down, trying to keep Klausmann under control. He wants an opportunity to pass. He's picking up speed on the outside here. He's going to be on the inside, coming in the turn. He makes a move stick. Can he hold it round and out of the corner? He does. So Ceres with a fantastic pass there on Klausmann. Klausmann now into second place. He's got to answer that. He's now in the danger zone. Remember, 2 riders through. The rest of the riders eliminated each time we go through the quarterfinals and the semifinals until we get into the minor finals and the major finals. Now Ceres are leading over there, followed by Klausmann. Cleanly done over the doubles, using the down ramp, landing at the optimum spot to get as much acceleration off that down ramp as possible to carry as much pace onto this climb. And as you can see, the crowd's really crowding the slopes here, wanting to catch these fantastic athletes in action. Now, Lorenzo Ceres knows that he needs to leave something in reserve. Remember, they're going to have semi-finals and hopefully a major final to contest. So 2 more races still to go, so they can't afford to expend too much energy. So Ceres is going to come through, and I think the front 2 are going to be able to cruise in and relax as they come through. So Lorenzo with a fantastic move on Felix Klausmann, and Heiko Hogg and Eric Fierro both out of contention. Hogg could be a 4th, Fierro in 3rd. Klausmann had a great start here. He's always a fast starter. He held that line, but you could just see coming into the second of those drop downs that Lorenzo had the pace and the power. I wonder if Felix Klausmann is able to do anything about that as we move forwards, because it's going to be Klausmann and Ceres who qualify, with Fierro and Hogg both for the Ecuadorian and German rider eliminated. But has Klausmann got an answer for Lorenzo if he attacks him? We'll soon find out.
Felix, you're riding at home, a home ride, so I had the impression you wanted to show yourself.
Yes, I like the track here in Winterberg, and of course it's a really hot course here in Germany, and I like it every time to race in my home.
And the second lap, I saw that you were saving some energy. You saw Lorenzo passing by, you looked back and you said, okay, they're far enough, let's keep it calm and save some energy for the rest of the courses to come.
Yes, I thought the first position would be better, but Lorenzo passed me, so I had to keep behind him. It was really tight here, but on the last climb I could see that I could manage my second place to the semifinals.
Big congratulations, and we see you in the next race. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, very interesting. He has got the energy saved there, and great to see that he's still being able to look around to consider what he's doing as he moves through into the next rounds. Now, the semi-final, same format, 2 riders through. Marion Fromberger of Germany, Gaia Tormena, the world and European champion. And then you can just see our rider there from Iran on the side, just having to struggle a little bit, pushing back on there. But looks like it's going to be the tough move to make for the Iranian at the moment. Fanarak Patazar at the moment, and Patazar, the rider in 3rd place, trying to chase Fromberger and Gaia Tormena. Now, Gaia Tormena has been dominant this season. She's the world champion, the European champion. She's the series leader. Perfect scores from her so far. Fromberger, well, she was 2nd in the World Cup overall coming into this series. She's got the form. Can she climb? Only 4th in the World Championships. But it may well be that the Iranians are really going to need to pull something special out here. Just focus on putting on a good ride and hope that there's a mistake from these two, because the gaps are opening. And Gaia Tormena, who has shown she's at home in the wet, in the dry, on flat courses, on tight town centre courses, on the cobbles, at the moment showing that she's equally at home on the hills here. Now the world champion makes her way round here. The 2 leading riders at the end of lap 2 will move on to the main final. The riders left afterwards will be fighting it out in the minor final here in Winterberg, this fantastic ski resort. And as you can see, it is Gaia Tormena with the gap, making it look nice and smooth. The rider who took us out for that lap on the track, looking good at the moment. So Tormena not having to push the tapes too far, and in fact the wind just blowing sideways across there. You can see it's still pretty windy out there, but not enough to tangle the riders up. Gaia Tormena just makes this look so easy. It doesn't seem to matter to this rider from Italy where she is or what she's racing. She is a rider who's having an absolutely perfect season. Behind her, Marion Fromberger here in the red, kicking hard. The German rider giving away 2 seconds at the end of lap 1, and I don't think that gap is going to come back down here. These 2 riders, I think, going to be content to move through, expending as little energy as possible. And the Iranian rider is going to come through to take a 3rd place here, but it is going to be a cruise to the line, I think, here. I don't think Fromberger is going to just risk challenging Gaia. She rolls into the line. Now the Iranian rider just limiting her losses here, so she's going to want to go through and have the pick of the lanes. The fastest riders in the eliminated riders in the semi-finals will go to the minor final and be able to pick their lines. So you can just see the pace that Gaia Tormena and Marion Fromberger took out from there. Fromberger already lining up that corner. She was halfway over the whoops and heading round in towards the doubles. But Gaia Tormena, the rider who has swept everyone before her so far this season, well, guess what? She's done it again. 1.2 seconds from Fromberger, and then Fanarak Patazar behind 6.9 seconds, going to be into the minor final. But I'm not sure we can find anything that can stop this woman. We might need it to snow one of these days if we're going to find a way to stop Gaia Tormena. Let's hear from her. She's down with Jan.
Gaia Tormena, being the world champion, you have to defend your title in front of the people, of course, but yeah, it went easy.
Yeah, it went.
It looked easy for us.
The track is very hard. The uphill is quite steep, and yeah, we can say it is a better race than the first one with the first rainbow jersey, which was Valkenswaard and was a disaster. So I'm already happy.
But already in the time trials, you showed your great shape. It's a continuing story.
It seems like that. I'm very happy to be under the minute. This one was my first goal of the day, now let's try to do the best in the big final.
Okay, we see you back in the big final, and we turn over. Thank you, Gaia Tormena. And we turn over to this Iranian girl competing for the very first time. We have an Iranian girl in between, in the middle of us, and for the very first time that you ride this kind of race as well. Huh?
Yeah, it's a pleasure to come to this race and experience this level here in Germany as well. That's it. I did a mistake. I tried to make my move, but I did a mistake in the start, and in such a fast race, every little mistake costs you really a position. And
but you sound quite excited.
Yeah, I love this race, and also how this discipline is. I experienced it maybe 1 or 2 times at lower level, but this was really nice, and I'm excited, and I will plan for the next stages to join for next year.
Okay, anyway, it was a pleasure having you with us. We are honored to have someone from Iran coming all the way to Germany for this race. Enjoy yourself the rest of the day, and back to the studio, guys.
Yeah, fantastic to hear from Fanarak Padazar in the race. They're making a mistake off from the start. She says it's such a short race format, you can't afford to make a mistake anywhere. Well, we're going to be looking forward to seeing her in the minor final. Who will she be up against? One of these 3 riders, Shrivers, Holmgaard or Muller, all with a point to prove here for 3 very different reasons. Holmgaard in the centre, who gets the fastest start, is the rider who felt she had been pushed into the barriers at the World Championships. She won the minor final, the race for those relegated away from the main final for the medals, and really did so in style, but she really did feel aggrieved by the treatment from the other riders. She was pushed into the barriers in Graz at the World Championships. She's looking to take revenge. Shrivers, well, she's looking to push herself back up the standings. She's currently sitting in 4th place in the overall standings, but she should move up at the end of this race. Both these riders want to keep away Muller. Muller looking to show that she is a rider who can make a mark on the Eliminator World Cup series. She put in a time behind all of the other riders, didn't get a perfect run round in qualifying. The question is, can she pull anything out on this? It only takes a slow start on this format where repeatedly you have to sprint off the line time and time again, and you're going to be in trouble now. Holmgaard takes a little bit of a look across. They will want to win the heat so that they can pick their race line, pick who they're alongside. Now, in the case of Holmgaard, that might be that she's wanting to win this heat so that she gets the pick of the lane ahead of the rider she tangled with in the World Championships. That is Fromberger. She'll be looking to get in front of Fromberger, who remember was 2nd in the previous semi-final. And if she does so, she might put herself in a position where she can really stick it to Fromberger. Now, these riders generally don't hold a grudge, but that's not true of everybody out on the circuit, and it's a very short season, a very short track, so everything is compressed, everything is intensified. Generally, if you have your elbow in front, you're regarded as being in front, and at the moment Schreiber's not able to get around Holmgaard, the German rider, on the heels of the rider from Sweden, Ella Holmgaard, leading up this brutal climb. You can see the riders having to get out of the saddle to kick up here. These world-class athletes are still having to get out of the saddle to get that extra drive, that extra momentum. They're going to come into this last 180-degree turn, and I think there's some serious energy saving going on, and that bodes well for the final. I think we're going to see fireworks, because we are going to see Ella Holmgaard along with Leah Shrivers joining Marion Fromberger and Gaia Tormena, and the minor final will be very interesting because Milan Muller along with Fanarak Padazar are going to be our 2 riders eliminated and put into that minor final. See the speed that Holmgaard comes out from there. It's like she's fired out of a cannon, very reminiscent of the speed of Gaia Tormena. So clearly a rider who wants to prove that she is going to be in those finals, and she's a rider to be wary of. So Ella Holmgaard goes through. She'll have her pick. She'll be the 2nd rider to pick her lane. And then it is Leah Shrivers who will go alongside. So it is Holmgaard and Shrivers, and then Maya Mullen, who's going to be joining the riders in the final. But Ella Holmgaard is here. A fantastic start off for the Canada. I wonder if she's got a point to prove after last week. Well, let's hear from Jan, who's down with Ella now.
Ella, it was Ella time today. It looked as if you wanted to prove something after last week.
Yeah, of course, you always want to prove yourself, but you can notice on yourself that it's been a long season. The races are getting us tired in the head, and yeah, it's just nice being here. I really love this track and I have good memories, so it's super nice.
And in the second lap, I had my eye on you, and I had the impression, how can you get to the finish line without spending just enough energy and to keep enough for the big one?
I think it's all about routine. When I was here a few years ago, it was all in max all day, but now I really can spend my energy all during the day and hopefully have better legs in the final.
Okay, we hope that for you too. Thank you for being with us, and we see you in the big final. Ella Holmgaard, back to the studio.
So great to hear from Ella there, saying that it does take time, and if you compare that to our riders who are here for the first time, our rider on the left-hand side of your screen there from Iran, you know, the first-time rider alongside the world champion warming up. Well, who is going to do the same as our world champion in the women's? Will it be our world champion men's champion Simon Gegenheimer, the second rider from Leicester, Anton Berath of Sweden, Simon Gegenheimer of Germany, Titouan Perrin-Gagné from France, and Ricky Morales riding for Puerto Rico with that #1 plate as fastest qualifier. 2 through, 2 into the minor final. Who's got the start? And it looks like Perrin-Gagné's got the quick start here from France. You could just hear them firing through the gears here, but Gegenheimer is going to get muscled into 4th place here, and this could well end in tears for somebody. It's so tight as they come around that right-hand turn. Now Morales led out in his heat. Can he make it through this time by extending that gap? He's getting so much speed around these corners here. Behind him is Perrin-Gagné, and at the moment the rider who's going to get pushed out, well, the 2 riders are going to get pushed out, look to be like it's going to be Berath and Gegenheimer. Are they saving something for lap #2? Are they saving something for this climb? There are limited opportunities to overtake unless you've got massive wattage more than the other riders, and at the moment it really was a game of chicken down into that first corner, and it's left Morales and Titouan Perrin-Gagné in a 2nd place. So Ricky Morales leading around, the rider who qualified with the fastest time, but leading into that right-hand turn. It's his very first time on the World Cup circuit this year, and he is showing that he means business. We should have had him all year. Where's he been? He's absolutely flying at the moment. He's absolutely destroying the competition, and the world champion at the moment is sitting in 3rd place. He's got clear air between him and 2nd place. And our 2 qualifiers, Perrin-Gagné of France, along with Morales, if things stay as they are going to have a relatively easy ride here. Gegenheimer could well not be defending his world title, his series lead in the main final, unless he can pull something special out going into the doubles. Well, he's carrying more pace. You can just see Morales just stalling, defensive position, runs wide. Now Gegenheimer starts to try and close. Gegenheimer extending the gap on Berath as they go up onto the climb. So you can just see, oh, look at Morales. He's labouring all over that bike. He's climbing across that bike, just trying to get the power. Gegenheimer on the left-hand side. What a move by Gegenheimer. That's why the man's world champion. 3rd to 1st place on one straight over the rock garden. Morales looks like the lactic acid has just exploded in his legs. Wow, what a way, but that cost him some energy. Simon Gegenheimer is absolutely blowing chunks as he goes through there. Ricky Morales, what a ride by Morales from Puerto Rico. Comes in ahead of Anton Berath, who really, I don't think wanted to be fighting in that battle. Oh, look into the first corner. You can see it was an absolute bum fight coming in. But Gegenheimer sat back, then this move over the rock guard, and Perrin-Gagné looks across as much to say, who? What? How? Well, he made it. He made it through. He made it stick. And Morales, you just see, oh, he's a spent force. He did absolutely everything I think he could there. But that's going to be a very relieved Simon Gegenheimer, who qualifies into the main finals in 1st place ahead of Titouan Perrin-Gagné, the man he took that title away from in Graz last week. Well, there's nothing like getting the timing right and leaving it late to the end. He must have been worried. Let's hear his thoughts. He's down with Jan.
Simon, after last week at the World Championships, we knew, or we now know, this man has quite a finishing jump in his legs. But this beats everything. What happened in these last about not even 100 meters?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no words for it. I even didn't believe in myself. But usually I'm a rider from the start leading the pack. But yeah, last week and also this run shows that I'm a comeback rider.
You were in an elimination situation and you turned it into a winning situation in like 25 meters.
Yeah, I don't know how I make that happen. I just realized that they climbed not that fast and in the first lap. So I saw my chance and went full gas.
Thank you, Simon. Congratulations. And this is the man we have to keep an eye on in the big final. Back to the studio.
Yeah, we certainly do need to keep an eye on him in the big final. What a move there to be able to put that power out as we move in towards the last half of the racing of the day. As he's gone through, remember, it could take 5 sets of races to get into the absolute final. We'll see if he's got anything left after that. Now, fast starting Klausman on the left-hand side of Germany, Jeroen van Eck, European champion, lane 2. Ceres, the man who made some fantastic moves on Klausman before, and Jay Bitterbeer, who seems to be in every real bit of fight, every real battle, but at the moment not able to come out on top. Is he going to be able to challenge this time around? He's one of the lighter riders, but Klausman with that fast start in front of Ceres, is he going to be able to hold him off this time? They've got the European champion, Jeroen van Eck, the man who was second in the World Championship, second in the series overall, sitting currently in man 3 as they come over the doubles. Interestingly, Van Eck squashes it down. He just rides over that double. He doesn't try and jump it. Klausman swings wide round that corner. He really was forcing them to take the long way round, stopping them from overtaking on that left-hand turn. As up onto the climb they come. Now Ceres makes a move on the left-hand side. Are we going to see Van Eck following him through? Is he going to do a Gegenheimer and move all the way up to the front? They're almost 3 abreast, 3 side by side as they come around that turn. Now Bitterbeer carries plenty of pace through, but quickly up to speed. Lorenzo says takes this down. Now we're going to see 2 riders eliminated. At the moment, Klausman has just been pushed out into man 3, the first of those eliminated riders. Can he do anything about this? He starts fast. He's got to be able to kick and finish fast now. Bitterbeer comes down on the inside, and I think he can see that Klausman is fatigued here. So Bitterbeer makes a move, but he could lose that instantly. As he's in 3rd place, he manages to keep hold of that. This time round, Jeroen van Eck takes the full jump, lands that double, as onto the climb they come down. This is where the moves start to be made. This is where they've got to go flat out, and the pace suddenly picks up. And you can just see from the back there, Klausman has really kicked off hard. He's moved up. He's over Bitterbeer, but it is Van Eck on the right-hand side here. He wants to take this clear from Ceres, so it's going to be Jeroen van Eck who's leading onto the straight. They can't relax too much, but I think they're going to come through cleanly. So Jeroen van Eck leads through Lorenzo Ceres, and then it is going to be a very disappointed Klausman who comes through, and Bitterbeer I think has been distanced on the way through there. So it was a quick start from Klausman up into the front, but you could just see as he faded that there was definitely Lorenzo Ceres was wanting to make the move, but he couldn't hold off the power of the European champion, the man who's second in the series, second at the World Championships, taking that silver medal, and that is Jeroen van Eck. So Van Eck goes through, qualifying in 1st place into the main finals, along with Lorenzo Ceres. Klausman and Bitterbeer will be fighting it out for 5th, all the way down to 8th place in the men's competition. And the European champion, Jeroen van Eck, is there, second at the World Championships, second overall. Can he take Gegenheimer on and beat him this time?
Jeroen van Eck, our commentator, was telling in his comments during the race at the final stage, is Jeroen van Eck going to do a Gegenheimer? It's a new thing happening in a city mountain bike, and you did a Gegenheimer. What a final jump!
Yeah, thanks. I knew I was in a strong heat, especially with Felix and with Lorenzo, and I could feel in the last climb I was strong, so I thought let's just go to the front so I can control, and at least I have one other spot to defend instead of being in second and being attacked by the number 3. So yeah, felt strong, felt good.
And now the big final. You want to show something after last week, I know.
Yeah, it will be exciting for sure. I think it's a really nice big final with a good competition. So yeah, looking forward to battle.
Okay, thank you very much. Congratulations. We see you in the big final. Another man to keep an eye on, guys. This is Jeroen van Eck. Back to the studio.
Yeah, I definitely need to keep an eye on Jeroen van Eck. He is one of the real fast men of this sport, and he knows his tactics, the ability to think as they come into all of these races, to be able to make those split-second judgments, to be able to have that composure whilst breathing out of every single ears, lungs, eyes, legs, everything's exploding. And you still have to do that. That is why these athletes are such class. Now, our 2 riders lined up and ready to fight it out for 5th and 6th places. Our very first Iranian rider, and this is Fanarak Parazar, along with Mayan Muller from Germany, who is going to take this. The Iranian said she made a mistake first time round on a start. Well, she's not made a mistake this time. The 2 riders side by side, they're going to drop off the edge of the straight. At the moment, Muller just going up into the front. Can she hold this position? The Iranian takes that right-hand turn. So a lot of the riders not using dropper seat pins to enable them to keep the weight down, but that's not always the best option when you've got so many jumps. But you can just see at the moment these riders out of the saddle very quickly as they come around this turn here. They have to be able to keep calm as they come through. And this really is going to be tactical, I think, between Muller and Parazar as she comes through. So just watching our Iranian rider tracking the back wheel of the Germans come in and taking that tight line. Comes the Iranian, she's putting an attack in up the hill for the first time. Can she gap the German here and take away a win in the minor final, which she was looking forward to this, looking forward to showing what she can do. And I think she's showing that with more races under her belt, she could be a real force to be reckoned with. She chose the moment. She didn't panic when she wasn't in the lead coming in, and now she's opened the gap. And Muller on lap number 2 is really going to have to try and close the Iranian down. Will the Iranian have done too much early on? Well, we've still got 1 more lap to go here in Winterberg, this fantastic venue for outdoor sports through the winter and through the summer. Is playing host to round 4 of the UCI MTB Eliminator World Cup, and in the minor finals, our Iranian rider has got clear air between herself and Muller on the descent down. And I think the Iranian now is riding for time. She's got to keep composed, though, not take too much of an advantage in terms of the lead. Don't make a mistake. If you leave the course out of the tape, you've got to come back in where you left it, so you've got to get it right. You cannot afford to go sliding off. You've got to keep composed, but that gap is growing and growing at the moment, and this should be a great victory for her to take away the win in the minor final from Muller. So Muller out of the saddle chasing as the Iranian goes over the safety jogger rock garden. It's a climbing wall laid on its side, those holes that most people would hang off in a vertical manner, and riders have to go across horizontally. So getting the applause from the crowd here at Winterberg around number 4, the minor final, a winner from Iran. It is Fanarak Parazar, who is going to be in at the finish with clear time between herself and Mayan Muller. So very interesting to see Muller, after not being in contention, cruises in, saves the legs. All these riders are riding week in, week out. If you go too deep one weekend, you're going to pay for it the weekend after, and that is not good if you're going to keep on going. So that fast start, no mistakes this time by Parazar. She goes around. However, she was headed initially by Muller. She made that move up onto the climb to give herself that clear air between herself and the challenger Muller behind. So it is going to be a win for Iranian rider Fanarak Parazar ahead of Mayan Muller in the minor final. So it's a 5th place in the World Cup overall in the first race. So over to Jan, who has Fanarak down there with him.
Vanarak, first race and coming in 5th. What a performance.
Thank you so much. It's gonna be my last race of the season, so happily I will finish it with a good place for my first experience in World Cup Eliminator. I'm happy.
You played it very tactically. Eh? At a certain point you saw a little bit to the back and you saw, okay, maybe I'm accelerating right now and I'm gone.
Yeah. Race by race, like hit by hit, I can get experience about how is the race going on, and I could play on the last race I did, and it worked.
How do you say congratulations in Farsi?
Mubarak.
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 Yeah.
Mubarak.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye bye. Thank you. Back to the studio.
Congratulations indeed, and as you can see, a very happy rider, quite understandably, and really do look forward to next season where we're going to see her hopefully in action at more rounds. Now, on to the men's minor final. Anton Biras, along with Felix Klausmann, Jay Bitterbeer and Ricky Morales, who will be able to take this out. Morales has led from the gun, but he was showing signs of fatigue at the end of the semi-final. Who can lead it on the minor final? Klausmann's a fast starter. Birat, we know, should be in the mix in theory for a top 4 position. He's not been able to do so here at Winterberg, but he leads them down into this first corner. And at the moment, Morales is in an unfamiliar 4th place after being the fastest qualifier, after winning his early rounds. He's not looking the man he was, and I think the repeated rounds taking their toll, but as we've seen, you can make a move late on if you're left in touching distance with the leaders. So up over the doubles goes our race leader, coming up on to the climb, making it look relatively easy. Anton Birat taking a look round. You can just see keeping that focus, but as those riders drift wide, it leaves the door open. Now Morales pushing on the inside, on the right hand side as they come in to the safety joggers. So he's going to have to drop back because it is going to be Biras who's going to lead in around the course. So it's Biras, and it looks to me, in fact, like that is going to be Jay Bitterbeer. My apologies, Jay Bitterbeer in 2nd place. So Jay Bitterbeer clearly has got something left after those early runs. It's not Morales, both riders all in black, but it is Bitterbeer who has got the power left at the end of the preceding races. Morales is actually out of the picture here now. So Jay Bitterbeer with a great move up there, came into that right hand turn, he made it stick, and then behind this Anton Biras, and we've only got less than half a lap to go. Now we're into the doubles, then we're on to the climb, over the doubles to go. So Jay Bitterbeer now onto this climb. He's lighter, he's taller, he's a slightly thinner rider than a lot of these compact fast sprinters who excel at kicking out the corner. Felix Klausmann challenging for that 2nd place. Is he going to go up on Bitterbeer? Oh my goodness, look at that. Well, we talked about doing a Gegenheimer. He certainly did it there. He saved it for that final kick over the top. Look at that. Felix Klausmann's got time to actually punch the air on the way round here, because he has he's put the move in there. He's gonna take away the minor final win, so it's going to be a 5th place overall for Felix Klausmann, a 6th place overall for Jay Bitterbeer, 7th place overall for Anton Biras, and I think Ricky Morales is going to be the man who is well and truly in deficit to everybody else. Big kick out here. Jay Bitterbeer was leading in and through. He made a big move on the climb on lap number 1, but on lap number 2, Felix Klausmann, I think he must have rockets tied to his shoes on the way up there. He absolutely flew over the top of that climb and pushed into that safety jogger, rock garden. I can't imagine he's got any breath left whatsoever, because it must have been a massive effort to go past so fast, with Felix Klausmann taking the win from Jay Bitterbeer, Anton Biras, and then Ricky Morales. Morales, in fact, a non-finisher in that race. So they're going to be 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th place. But a win in the minor final for Felix Klausmann, who got the timing just right on that one. Let's hear what he's got to say. He's down with Jan.
Felix, what is in this German food that you guys have this explosiveness in your legs? It's incredible.
I don't know. It's since I'm a young boy, so I had a lot of power in the start or on steep climbs, and yes.
Because after about 3/4 of a race, we had a feeling that Jay Bitterbill was gone,
Yes.
but you caught up in like 10-15 meters.
Yes. In the semifinals, I did a mistake, so Jay could pass me there, and on the last climb I was too much behind the two in the front. So in this round, the first lap was really hard, but in the final I know I could catch him, give it all out.
So you were thinking in the semis, Jay, you had me, but I get back to you.
Yes, yes, it was a revanche.
So congratulations!
Podium, yes.
Congratulations with this final result, Felix. Thank you for being with us. Back to the studio.
So we're going to short.
Well, he definitely showed that a move can be made even in those last few meters. That steep bank up onto the tarmac road crossing and then on to the concrete net that goes up onto that safety jugger. They are the critical meters of this course. And it's great to see so many youngsters. One of the wonders of being on the Mountainbike commentator for this. So I get to watch these kids in action early on the footage, aspiring one day to be the next Gaia Tormena or Ella Holmgaard or Marion Fromberger or Leah Shrevers. So Fromberger from Holmgaard, these are the two that tangled at the World Championships. Gaia Tormena, the winner who swept all before, the World Champion Series leader. And then on the right hand side, Leah Shrevers. Shrevers looking to move up from that placing in the series of 4th place overall. She needs to put in another good performance here. Who will have the pace from line? Can anybody challenge Gaia Tormena? The Tormena torpedo going off from the start like there is no tomorrow every single time. So the whistle goes. Who's got the big kick here? Oh, Holmgaard straight across in front of Tormena, in front of Fromberger there. She was not letting Fromberger come up the inside, but the challenge is now going to come from Shrevers and Fromberger in 4th and 3rd places. On 2nd place, Holmgaard, who is defending that position more than she is chasing Gaia Tormena, who again has put a bike length between her and the rest of the race field. So Gaia Tormena onto the double. She's going to land it and be clear before the chasers come. Now Fromberger comes up the inside. It's going to be a grudge match between these two. They tangled in the World Championships. They've had a few fallouts on the way round, and this is the battle now. Fromberger in 2nd place. Holmgaard's being challenged now by Shrevers as Gaia Tormena continues to open up the gap at the front here, looking to take away another win and make it a complete clean sweep, not just at the World Championships but also here at World Cups in this season. She is absolutely unstoppable. A masterclass once again for Gaia Tormena. She comes through with 1 lap done. We can stop the race there for Gaia. It's not going to change. She's going to have to make a massive mistake behind, though. That fight is not over, because we have got Fromberger up against Shrevers and Holmgaard at the moment. A rider who said that she was saving her energy is now down into 4th place and has her head gone down. Does she not want to go up and challenge shoulder to shoulder after her experiences in the World Championships? So here we go, right-hand turn. Gaia Tormena once again out of the saddle, not losing any grip, not losing any speed. She could afford to take some of the pace off. She's not doing so. Meanwhile, Shrevers really defending that 2nd place here in the finals of the Women's World Cup Eliminator here in Winterberg. But Gaia Tormena absolutely storming this. Number 1 on her back and number 1 all the way through the season. The world champion is absolutely phenomenal once again here at Winterberg. Well, the arms go in the air, the sprint unfolds behind her. She doesn't need to worry about it, but Leah Shrevers is going to be very happy with that, with Marion Fromberger taking 3rd place, and I'm sure a less than happy rider behind in the shape of Ella Holmgaard. And good to see the sportsmanship of the finish of those fist bumps as they come through. Well, that early lead of Gaia Tormena was absolutely superb. And if you want to know how to ride an Eliminator, just watch Gaia Tormena. She absolutely nails it time after time after time. Everybody else is left sprinting for the minor positions behind her. And you can see by that gap of 4.5 seconds clear, and she was cruising into the finish. Gaia Tormena taking the win, Shriver's taking second, Marianne Fromberger in third place, and fourth place, Ella Holmgard of Sweden. So the rider who at the moment nobody knows how to beat her, well, she's up with Jan once again. Another win, a clean sweep so far. Are we ever going to see anything but a win from this woman? Jan, you've got Gaia Tormena down there.
Gaia, you know the Swedish group ABBA?
I didn't have to sprint as I thought. It was a race under control. I already knew the other girls, and I know they are very strong, but I also know where they can attack. So I managed to stay in the front from the first meters, and yeah, here we are again.
But my question was, do you know ABBA, the Swedish group? ABBA.
Oh yeah.
They have a song. They have a song, The Winner Takes It All. We have to change it. We have to change it into Gaia Takes It All.
No, please, I don't think so. I am in a good shape this year, but yeah, this is exaggerated, I think.
No, but it's nice that you stay modest in all that big stuff, because the European champion, world champion, actual leader in this World Cup, yeah, you win everything.
It is extraordinary. It reminds me my 2019, but 2 years ago I was just like a baby girl, like a child who wanted to try this new World Cup field. And now I'm much more confident, and I know myself quite well. So yeah, it is the same but different.
A very, very big congratulations. Back to the studio, and it's time for the podium.
Well, Gaia Tormena is going to get ready for the podium. I think we could have another ABBA song for that, because it's not necessarily Winner Takes It All. It's Mamma Mia, here we go again, because she's absolutely unstoppable. Maybe that's our next Gaia Tormena down there, as she sees our riders going on to the podium, taking away the third place at Marianne Fromberger, the second place, Leah Shriver, but your race winner. Another win for the world champion. The series leader, unstoppable. She's just going to be the series winner. She can stop now. She's still going to have more than enough points. Gaia Tormena does the business once again, taking away top spot here at Winterberg. What a win! What a masterclass from this rider from Italy. Well, she'll be inspiring another generation of riders coming along. She said it's not all that long since she was a little baby girl racing 2 years ago in 2019. This season, she's shown that she's definitely become the master of this discipline. So our women are done and dusted. Our world champion taking the win. Simon Gegenheimer, series leader, the world champion on the left of your screens. Do that once again. Will the silver medalist at the World Championships, the European champion Jeroen van Eck, be able to challenge him? Will Lorenzo Serres, who started so fast, take it? Or will his fellow Frenchman, Perrin Gagné, on the far right side do it? Well, he's not going to do it with a start like that. That was a disastrous start, missing, clipping into the pedal on that kick from the start, dropping down in towards this right-hand turn. Gegenheimer from Jeroen van Eck. Oh, so tight behind Serres. He must have remembered that tangle that was seen as riders on the floor before. But Perrin Gagné now has to make a move around the side of Serres coming through. This is going to be thrilling all the way to the finish. Gegenheimer at the moment in the front, and none of these riders are going to necessarily respect the fact he's world champion. They all want that top spot. Van Eck is just looking for a spot to pounce to take away the top spot as they come in on the right-hand side. Perrin Gagné, well, we said he was going to be out of it with a start like that. He's not out of it. He's making a move, and he's done a Gegenheimer to Gegenheimer as he goes up onto the back there, because he's pushed Gegenheimer from the front down into third place. There's Perengagna goes up. We've got another lap to go. We've got plenty of overtaking opportunities, and now it's the former champion Perengagna who's leading from the European champion, with the world champion currently in third place, eating dust as we come round this corner. So can we see a move from Gegenheimer, our series leader? Can he get back up on top? Are we going to see resurgent Perengagna? He pushes those tapes right out as he comes around those turns onto the climb up over the doubles. Is everyone through safely? They are by the look of it, and it is Perengagna who's got the lead at the moment. But Jeroen van Eck now starting to wind it up behind him. You can see him kicking down on those pedals, pulling on the upstroke as well. But it looks to me like Perengagna has carried a little bit more speed on the right-hand side. He's coming. Now Van Eck moves on the left-hand side. This is going to be tight into the corner. Perengagna has to back off there. Perengagna comes to the inside, though. He's got the first kick. There's another kick coming from Van Eck, but you can just see that final explosion from Perengagna making it through there. What a finish as he comes through to take top spot. And it is Titouan Perengagna from France in front of the European champion Jeroen van Eck. Well, look at this start from the eventual race when he was down in fourth place and he had to steadily pick his way through here. The man from France eventually getting onto the front, and then it was all about making sure he held his line, not giving way. We thought it was all over as Jeroen van Eck came blasting up on the outside, but when it came to that final sprint, Perengagna had what it was needed. That was an amazing sprint to be able to kick and kick again like that. That is so hard to do, particularly coming off a 180-degree turn. But top spot to Titouan Perengagna, second place Jeroen van Eck, third place Lorenzo Says, and fourth place Simon Gegenheimer, the world champion, not on the podium at the first World Cup following the World Championships. So maybe there were some points to prove amongst the riders behind, not least of which the man who lost his title at the weekend in Graz. This weekend, he's back on top spot. Fantastic to see what a ride that was. A poor start, but that's the way to finish. Jan, you're down with Titouan at the moment.
Titouan, we're gonna call you no Titouan anymore. We're gonna say to you, ET, you're extraterrestrial. What a show, man!
Yes, it was another one, and yeah, finally I take my first victory in a World Cup. I'm so happy, and yes, last week on the World Championship I broke my chain. I had a super good legs since 10 days, and yes, today I'm here. I'm super happy. It's amazing.
But with this company and the race we saw, within the history of World Cup, this was the toughest race we ever saw. This was a big fight from the very beginning to the very end.
Yes, it was a big fight. I have a little mistake at the start, and I take the last place on the start. I managed to become on the front step by step, and yes, it was super tough and super close with Joran on the last climb, but I take the win. It's super cool.
Last week, after the World Championship in Graz in Austria, we met each other the day after at the airport, and you said it was a pity that my chain broke because I might have had the best legs ever.
Yes, not ever, but on this year, yes, I have a super good legs, and yes, today it's a great day for me.
Grand félicitations. On va te mettre, we are going to leave you on the podium.
Well, fantastic stuff, and that is the way to come back after the disappointment of a World Championships. So once again, the XCE Eliminator comes back into town, providing entertainment and top flight racing amongst some of the world's best athletes here in Winterberg, and a great result. So taking away third place in that finish, and Lorenzo Serres taking away second place. The European champion Jeroen van Eck at the top place, top spot, the #1 rider here at Winterberg. The MTB Eliminator World Cup round of 4 going at Titouan Perrin-Gagné. Second place, Jérôme Van Eck. Third place, Lorenzo Sosa, our series leader, scraping in fourth place, which means that as we move on to our next rounds, we leave Germany, we go up to France. Next week, we are really going to be looking to see what is going to unfold between these riders. Great racing here on a tough course. The first time we've had such a brutal course this season, and we are going to see just what will happen as we move on to our future rounds. Some great racing, some great riders, fantastic course and fantastic obstacles, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens as we move on to our next rounds, as we move through on to some more of the XCE Eliminator World Cup.
With these guys, Simon,
so 2 more rounds to go. We go to France, and then to Barcelona, and the 2 rounds coming up are going to be very exciting to see who's going to take that. Remember, Gaia Tormena winning the women's here as per normal, and the top spot in the men's race, well, that went to the former world champion, Titouan Perrin-Gagné. And Simon Gegenheimer, the series leader there with the World Championships bands on his side of his World Cup leader's jersey, not able to take away a podium spot at this race. A big surprise on the man who came through, storming through to take a top spot in his semi. So not going to be his day at the races, so he can only reflect on what could have been. Still not doing too badly. A World Championship and a World Cup leaders jersey doing the business. Fantastic to see. So good to see so many spectators out at events once again here on the XCE circuit. Winterberg, one of our regular venues. We've been in town, in fact, last time we were here in 2019. We're back out on the slopes of the ski slopes in this fantastic resort in the northern Rhine-Westphalia area. So as the crowds continue to see our riders up close and personal, not going to be long before these riders are going to be able to warm down, get ready for their next races. So great to have everybody here at Winterberg for the XCE Eliminator World Cup from the Mountain Plane. It's been a pleasure putting words to the action, and we'll see you again for the very next World Cup Eliminator from France. See you soon.